Welcome to Real Estate Coaching Radio, starring award-winning real estate coaches and #1 international best-selling authors, Tim and Julie Harris. This is the #1 daily radio show for realtors looking for a no BS, authentic, real-time coaching experience. What's really working in today's market, how to generate more leads, make more money, and have more time for what you love in your life. And now your hosts, Tim and Julie Harris.
Welcome back. Today we're going to give you the Realtors Daily Success Plan, which is a 5-day plan which really drills down on how you can get the most out of each day. This is something that you can use, frankly, for the rest of your career, and you can also use it for your personal life. Because really, at the end of the day, a successful day, frankly, a successful life, comes down to doing maybe 3 to 5 things really well every single day. Julie and I talked last week about early warning signs. You guys got to go back and listen to that podcast. It's kind of part and parcel with essentially what you should be doing. And when you know what those 3 to 5 things are that you should be doing every single day, and you do those at the highest level, you will be absolutely 100% shocked how fast you build positive momentum. And over time, the accumulation effects really starts to work in your benefit, and your life changes in so many different positive ways. So what we're going to be doing is going through our, it's a mini version basically of the Daily Success Plan.
That's right. So are you feeling overwhelmed, or maybe sometimes feeling overwhelmed, not sure of what to do to generate consistent new business, and you don't want to pay steep referral fees or speculate on internet leads?
I think that, Julie, right there, I want to hover there.
Sure.
Everyone listening to us now, between YouTube and straight up podcast listens, maybe 15 or 20,000 of you will consume this show today. I want you to start approaching your business, if you don't mind me saying, with the idea that you're no longer going to buy business. Just start by the idea that your go-to isn't going to be able to get your credit card out and buy a lead, right? Even if it's through a referral fee. Referral fees, Zillow 43%, or buying leads for just whatever, it doesn't matter if it's pay-per-click or whatever. Can you give yourself permission to learn how to be a proactive lead generator so you can actually start increasing your net profit? Julie, I was on Lab Coat Agents on Facebook. And I know that's a dicey place to be sometimes, right?
Yes.
But somebody was putting the information up there where they were talking about essentially the amount of awards that agents in the industry like to give each other.
Yes.
It is crazy. And it was a funny topic, some of the things that commenters were saying.
Yeah.
And then I put up the idea, why don't, instead of talking about, most of these people were saying you get awards for, participation trophies.
Yes.
I said, what happens if we just start pivoting the industry to start recognizing the agents that have the most net profit?
Oh, that's a radical thought.
Well, and then I said the most net profit based on the most, that would be level A,
okay.
But the most net profit based on the most transactions. Mm-hmm. So if someone does 100 deals
right.
and they make, say, $1 million, mm-hmm. if they're keeping, and we have coaching clients, lots of them that do this, and they're keeping like 90%
yes.
because they're not spending that much money to
mm-hmm.
transact. They're not buying their business. They're proactively earning the business.
Yep.
Those are the people, personally, we should be recognizing.
100%. Could not possibly agree with you more. And I know, Tim, I think you would agree with this. There's probably some listeners that just having the thought that they don't have to buy business can be radical. Like some of these guys brought up that the belief, okay, you get in the business and here's what you do. You spend X amount on your leads and then hopefully some of them work out. That's a common belief. So even starting before what you said, start with the thought that you don't, that you're going to stop buying your leads. How about believing that you don't have to at all?
Well, you realize that I would say almost every single person listening to our show right now or watching us has been in real estate for only 15 years, 16 years or less,
yeah.
right? So they don't know what we're saying is true.
That's what I'm driving at.
Right, because they came up in this time where, fintech real estate companies were awash. Everywhere you went, all these companies that were selling you CRMs and selling you leads and selling you branding and selling you marketing, if you've only been in the business for 15 years or less, and it turns out your boss, your mentor, your office manager, your broker has only been in the business for 15 years or less, and they've never been exposed to what we believe is the truth of real estate, which means you can have 90% profit margins and be primarily a proactive lead generator, they're going to tell you to buy your business. The problem with buying your business ultimately is that you're building your castle on land you do not own, or you're building your home on land you don't own. In other words, you're building your future based on lead sources that you can't control. That's the reason that a lot of these online lead generation companies are confidently raising your referral fees from 25%, now in some cases 50%. Now, you don't necessarily think like this, and I'm hoping you will give yourself permission to think like this. If you are paying your broker, which you are, if you are paying for a lead generation, which you are, if you're paying the added, expense that the broker or your office manager or your team might be charging you for that bought lead, which you are, you're probably making 10 to 12% before paying yourself your time, your taxes, and the rest of it. You've got to be looking at real estate as essentially how much are you grossing? Yes. How many units did you sell? Yes. But what's your actual net profit? And when you start thinking like that, then you stop giving yourself room to buy leads. You start saying, why am I not making more money? I sold $500,000 to the real estate. How much money did you actually put in your pocket? How much money actually showed up on your W-2 or your 1099? How much money were you actually paid? And be honest with yourself. Now, against the money you were paid, what were your actual personal expenses? Now you start realizing that maybe you're making a decision to buy business and you should stop doing it. You should learn how to be a proactive lead generator. And it's easier to be a proactive lead generator, frankly, than a lot of the complicated things that you guys are trying to put into place, because you're going to choose to put yourself directly in conversation with people that have already self-identified as wanting to buy or sell real estate versus the passive where you're waiting around for someone to raise their hand that maybe a lead comes in that hopefully they transact. You have got to realize that in this business, this is the most simple, elegant business, real estate, that you can possibly be in. You made the best decision ever to get a real estate license. And frankly, this is one, in our opinion, one of the best times to become a listing agent in the entire amount of time Julie and I have been in the real estate business right now. But you're going to have to accept the fact that really everything you're wanting, hopefully, everything you originally got into real estate to earn comes from net profit. You cannot have a lifestyle you want. You cannot spoil your family and yourself without a lot of net profit. And I realize that's no longer the normal way of thinking in real estate, but that doesn't mean that's not how you should be thinking in real estate.
And even if you're not ready to have that thought yet, it's happening for you. And we've talked about this on different shows. The FCC changed to even how your ability to even buy a lead if you wanted to.
And we did talk about in the past. We won't talk about that now.
Right,
but
I'm just reminding them.
Right. To underline what Julie just said, the buying buyer leads as an option is going to almost become impossible or very, very expensive this year. So have your eyes open to it, guys. Please listen to what we're saying. We're only trying to help. And I'm going to say this too. A lot of you are looking for a broker upgrade. A lot of you are looking for the next natural step in your real estate careers, whether you're a new agent, whether you're a seasoned veteran agent. One of the best business decisions that Julie and I have made in our 25 years in real estate has absolutely been with aligning with eXp Realty 5 years ago. Look, some of you are new agents and you're wanting to have direction. You want to know what to do next. You want to know how to build your business. You want to know that someone's going to have your back. Let's talk. A lot of you, most of you, are seasoned veteran agents. You're looking for ways to create passive income for yourselves. You're maybe even thinking about the horizon, maybe not the so distant horizon, where you want an exit from having to be transactional all the time. Well, guess what? eXp Realty is perfect for you. So what I'd love for you to do is check two ways to move forward with this. Those of you who are eXp Realty curious, scroll down below and click the link to learn more about Julie and I's eXp Realty group. And you're going to learn about all the added benefits you get from aligning with us, including free coaching, by the way. For those of you who are ready to land the plane, ready to choose your sponsor at eXp Realty, Julie and I are formally applying for the job of being your eXp Realty sponsor. You can text me directly at 512-758-0206. Text, do not call. Please do text 512-758-0206 and let me know a little bit about yourself and let's further the conversation. So eXp Realty Curious, just scroll down below and click the link, and it's the ylibertas.com link. Or if you're ready to actually make your choice and choose the sponsor, Julie and I are formally applying for the job of being your eXp Realty sponsor. Please text me directly at 512-758-0206.
Now, we made this daily success plan. This is really a 5-day power plan because we know that when you think of your yearly, quarterly, or even monthly goals, that can seem really daunting and without direction. It also can seem like you've got plenty of time to make your plan work. So instead, we're drilling down to making this just 1 week at a time. You follow the simple weekly plan and you can reignite your momentum, or maybe you never had momentum in the first place. You will create momentum. It is a plan that anyone can accomplish and will produce the following. We're going to go through 5 quick expectations. Number 1, nearly immediate results, assuming that you're using good scripts and making actual contact. Not just texting, emailing, or regular mailing. Actual contact is required. You can't look for the easy button or do your passive version of the plan. The next thing that you can expect is leads for your future, 30, 60, and 90 days out. You can expect number 3, more experience and confidence in being proactive, doing the real work of real estate, again, that you're not buying. Number 4, productive and profitable habits versus speculating, waiting. We did that. You'll have more experience and confidence being proactive, doing the real work of real estate. Number 4, you can expect to become more productive and profitable with better habits versus what Tim just talked about, speculating, waiting, spending money you haven't yet earned. And number 5, once you know you can take things a week at a time, you'll soon be able to put the accumulation effect on your side. The accumulation of effort equals predictable, duplicatable results.
And remember, our notes for today's show and every show are down below, so just scroll below. And Julie, let's get to the 5-day power plan.
Yes. So again, this is your sprint, your 5-day power plan, 5 work days. And then I wrote lather, rinse, repeat once you get used to it. Note, these are minimum standards for productivity. More is better. So I'm going to go through this relatively quickly because you can scroll down and get the notes. So this is your 1-week plan, 5 contacts to people in your database, past clients, and centers of influence daily. So that's 5 database contacts daily. You're going to dial more than 5 times, but you're going to have 5 conversations. 5 thank you or congratulations cards daily. You can use social media for ideas. Who had a kid that graduated, or maybe they had a job promotion? Send personalized thank you cards. Next one. This is daily. 2 professional center of influence daily. You'll have 5. That actually should say expired, I think. Sorry. Oh, no, it's professional center of influence. That's what makes a difference than the previous point. Professional sphere. That's your mortgage guy, your termite guide, etc. The next one is 2 expired contacts daily. You're going to do 2 for sale by owner contacts daily, 2 divorce or probate attorney contacts daily, 2 new build reps daily, and 1 workout daily or a meditation. So these are numbers that every single person can hit, because at the end of the week, when you've done this, your total contacts by week's end, if you add all of these up, is a minimum of 35. That's per week. Now, in addition to that, you've also sent 25 cards, you've had 5 workouts, and you've meditated or prayed 5 times a week. You can, and I went through that fast because they can scroll down the notes, you can add on, refer to our previous podcast, open house, 1 open house per week. You can do 2 on Saturday or Sunday if you feel, which should generate at least 2 more closable listings or buyer leads. Again, refer to our previous podcast. What did you?
So I just have a question. 1 meditation or prayer daily. Who are you contacting then? God?
That's not no, that's just part of, well, you could. It doesn't
exactly.
hurt to pray for leads.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But you can't lead with that. I'm trying to give them a balanced, doable approach.
Right.
So I'll give you an example where this came from, okay? I'm always preparing for my elite coaching clients, and they're always like, okay, just tell me what to do. I need to be following a plan. But we create, 90-day plans or the treasure map. It's a longer plan. Well, when you whittle that down, you just get to specific weekly, daily things, because what you're trying to create is the accumulation effect.
What Julie's basically, it's
not very eloquently saying, but
no,
go
it's
ahead.
fine. I mean, I understood what you meant. I was just kind of trying to embarrass you, but you rolled off your back so fast. I didn't have my opportunity to.
I'm used to you.
Yeah, I know. But so really what you're doing is you're trying to help them understand that essentially the accumulation effect of doing 3 to 5 things every single day, and you're like typically it would be working out, it'd be making the desired number of contacts as predicated by the real estate treasure map. It would be showing appreciation. That's what your thank you letters and all those types of things were, and it's all laid out there. And again, Julie's notes are down below. But really, what you're seeing, and hopefully you guys are understanding, the common element of everything Julie just asked for you to do requires direct, proactive communication. Whether it be from a handwritten note, and if you're listening to what Julie's saying, and you're looking and thinking about how to shortcut what you just said, because you somehow mystically or magically think that you've got it figured out, and opposed to we're handwriting 5 thank you notes, you're instead going to send like their posts on Facebook. You're not going to win. You're just not. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop looking for easy buttons. As a matter of fact, start looking for the hard stuff. What's the hardest thing today? What are the 3 to 5 things that you're avoiding the most in your real estate business? And they're all the types of things that Julie just rattled off.
I'll tell you what it is. It's actually, instead of driving past that for sale by owner, actually going up and talking to them, seeing their home, using scripts inside the house, asking them how long they plan on doing it on their own versus hiring a professional like yourself. For most of you, that kind of contact with somebody that you don't already know, that's probably top on the list for most of you. So do that first.
Top on the list for most of you of things you'd like to do the least, right?
Exactly.
So if you write down a list of all the things you want to do the least, make note of how many, I'm just saying with regards to lead generation, right? Make note of how many of the things you want to do the least that you know, and you're going to like hear this and you're going to like do everything and you possibly can not to actually write these things down. But write down the things that you want to do the least and then make note of what those things are. Those are the very things that are going to put you in a position to basically help someone buy or sell real estate the fastest. And look okay, so now I want you to list off 5 things you want to do. It's all the easy stuff. It's all the passive stuff. It's all the speculative stuff.
I'm going to go make a video.
You want to make your video. You want to just do all this other stuff that maybe someday, hopefully, you're believing the big, elegant story that when you create enough videos, you create enough social presence, somehow magically there's some sort of threshold that you finally cross, and then the world starts raining leads on you. That's what you believe, isn't it? Well, I mean, that isn't really how life works for anything, is it? How it actually works is you have to have a lifestyle of doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level, which means everything's going to be harder, take longer, and have more of a payoff than you can possibly imagine. Why? Because you will have no competitors. If you want to make the money, do what other people aren't willing to do. Julie was giving it, for example, a for sale by owner as an example. I know some of you, even those seasoned, especially the seasoned veterans, you can't even fathom the idea that you're going to go talk directly to a seller. Well, why? I mean, a seller you don't already have a contact with. Why? That's a homeowner who has a house for sale, who probably wants to buy a house. And if you were just to simply use our system and go talking with them, you'll magically discover that they're just like all the other sellers you know. They're, nice, normal, average people that didn't know an agent. That's the reason they're trying to do it for sale by owner. Now, guys, then you're going to have the little light bulb go off in your mind. How about all the other for sale by owners that are in this community? Then your life starts to change. Then you're in charge of your own proactive lead generation. Then you realize the only thing standing in the way of you becoming a powerful listing agent are the number of contacts. And yes, at first you're going to be rusty with your script. But even a rusty, crusty script delivery or conversation doesn't go perfectly is better than what you're doing now, isn't it? And eventually over time, not very much time, you'll get better and better and better at it. Look, we teach you 30 ways to proactively lead generate. And yes, Julie and I are huge advocates of the passive lead generation as well. That is all the passive stuff, the social media, the branding, all the rest of it. Postcard mailing. We do teach you guys how to do all that as well. But we want you to lead with the proactive lead generation because that's going to put money in your pocket the fastest. See, we're doing this selfishly. Hopefully you guys can see this. You're not going to pay for coaching for long unless you're making money. So we have to teach you how to make money the fastest.
And keep the money.
So you pay for coaching. So we're just selfish. That's all we are. We want you to succeed because when you succeed, we succeed. So there it is, full disclosure.
Well, that's right. But so here's the thing. When you look at this, not as a monthly plan, a 90-day plan, a yearly plan, when you say, here's what I'm going to do this week, I'm going to talk to people who logically would list for sale by owners, expireds, probate attorneys, divorce attorneys, new build sales reps. I'm going to do those things, and I'm going to make at least X number of contacts to my database.
There's so many others, depending on your market. Notice defaults might be kick-ass. Old expireds. There's the list of folks that have their hands in the air right now in your marketplace, especially if you're in like LA, measures in the thousands, if not tens of thousands, that are people that want to sell their house today. And yet, you are trying to be a real estate social media rock star because you think that's how you're going to generate your business. Guys, there is a disconnect between reality and your perception of reality. If you want to be successful in real estate, you actually have to sell houses and be successful buying and selling real estate. It doesn't come from your social media presence. Ultimately, it does not. That's not how life works.
And by the way, we have recently done podcasts about what you should be putting on your social media. We're not saying you don't do it. We're saying don't lead with it and believe that the world is going to rain transactions on you.
That's the collective, elegant lie that's been told to agents, especially in the last 50 or 16 years. And this is going to sound like a conspiracy theory, but it is true because all these real estate fintech companies are all dependent on you guys being dependent. They're not going to stay in the business unless you guys don't know. If you know how to proactively lead generate, you don't need them. And that's a thing we hear a lot from coaching clients.
Oh, they love to send us their texts about the back and forth when, one of the lead selling people try to, engage with them.
This is Bob. I was wondering if you're taking any seller referrals in your marketplace.
And our coaching clients will be like, I already have my magic number of listings. Thank you. I'm not going to pay you for, X% referral fee or monthly
whatever.
fee or whatever. So here's the thing. When you boil it down to just this week, and remember, we're talking work days. So if you're saying you're working 5 days this week, you have to actually work those 5 days this week in order to get results. So let's say that you drilled down and you did this plan. You talked to people from your database. You talked to expireds. You found maybe there's only 2 for sale by owners in the zip codes that you work, but you spoke with both of them.
Well, I'm not going to give them a hall pass on that. If you're only finding 2 for sale by owners or 3 expireds in the zip codes that you work more zip codes.
Yeah, exactly.
Expand your search area.
And expireds go back in time.
Yeah, and if you're only working price points above this price point and this price point, well, if those price points and you're making a really great living off of it, go for it. Otherwise, expand the price points, expand the markets you're going to work in. Don't allow the limiting factors of your particular market. Markets, neighborhoods, they ebb and they flow. They go up and they go down, especially when there's new construction that's competing against it. So don't, tie your fortunes to the rise and fall of particular communities. You have to always be thinking opportunistically.
Yes, absolutely. So let's say that you embrace this, and let's just say it was just for this week. What will your business look like when you've been that proactive this week? Is this, be honest, more or less than you are currently doing? Or is your plan to wait and speculate? How do you feel knowing that you have a weekly plan? Do you have more direction? Do you have more confidence? If you like what we did on this podcast, you're going to love what you get in coaching when you're surrounded by caring, confident, like-minded coaches and agents. Especially, I love it when they share their results from doing plans like this.
Well, because accumulatively, if you did this for 1 week, how many total contacts will you have made?
At least 35 minimum.
Okay.
Plus an open house.
35 contacts, generally speaking, because you're contacting people that actually have their hands in the air saying, yes, I want to do a deal. These are not basically, cold doors or mailing postcards or anything. You're going directly to the people that already have self-identified. If you make 35 contacts to people that actually have said, I want to primarily sell their home, even if you are really bad at it, you're going to generate 5 to 7 leads. And even if you're not that great at presenting, you're going to take 2 or 3 listings. I can't guarantee it because I don't know how bad or how good you might be, but you guys are getting the point. This is what's going to put you in a position of making money and helping people the fastest. But even more so, the momentum from doing this work will change your life.
100%. And one of the common things that we see when I know their light bulbs are going out and they're going
out, you said.
I'm sorry, lighting up. They are having the thought that, those are numbers I could do. I could find and talk to at least 2 expireds a day. I know they're there and I know I can do this. And this plan is based on 1 really productive week. Let's say that you took just 1 listing or sold 1 buyer off of having this level of productivity. Doesn't that unlock your confidence? Doesn't that unlock something in you saying, I want more of that?
Dude, think about what you just said. Yes, I called her dude. We're getting that from Zoe.
Okay, dude.
Everybody's dude. All right, so.
Bruh.
Yeah, exactly. Where did that come from anyway? I don't even know. So in most, unfortunately, the average actual commission that most agents are making right now is less than $10,000. Most agents, 50%, are basically selling nothing. So right now, this is a great business to get into if you want to starve. There's a cold, hard fact, okay? You don't have to be like that. Now, why is it that so many agents are struggling? People might say, well, they're part-time, they're not serious. There's definitely some truth in those things. It's because they're doing the proactive lead generation. The passive lead generation. It's because they're getting into the business, they're buying leads, they're doing all this social media marketing, they're being told when they're asking the social media marketing gurus, when am I actually going to get viable business from this? According to your website or your webinar or your, live event, all these agents are having all these leads, rain down on them. When am I going to get my leads? Why is this not working for me? And they're going to tell you, you're not doing enough. Keep on doing it. Do more of it. Your video edits or whatever aren't good enough. You need to do more. Do more, do more, do more. Well, what's going to happen is you're going to run out of time, you're going to run out of money, and then you're going to fail out of the business. So why would you wait for the speculative stuff to work? Learn how to be a very powerful proactive lead generator. And then as Julie said, you reinforce it with the passive lead generation. But do the real work of real estate because that's where the real riches are and always have been and always will be.
Effort equals results, guys. So if the plan that we rolled out is more than what you're doing and you've been struggling, well, put those things together. Focus. The word focus means follow one course until successful. You can do this. And notice that there's not a thing on there that's going to cost you any money.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now, if you want to get really serious about hunting expireds, you can certainly hire the company RedX, which will not cost you that much.
The link is in the show description.
The link is in the show description. And what I always tell clients when they ask me, should I invest in RedX? I say, look, it's super, and we're giving them a discount, right?
$150.
$150. It's really inexpensive, assuming that you actually use it, because it takes, I don't know, a quarter of a transaction.
So what is RedX? Basically,
Yeah.
they go and, it's so funny. We talk about RedX. We tell them what to do to get the expired information. And then I always have some agent that messages me complaining how long it takes for them to find sellers' phone numbers because they're trying to manually do it.
I know.
Or they think
Yeah.
they're going to have a VA in the other part of the world do
Sure.
it. It's ridiculous. Subscribe to RedX. They actually go into your local MLS. They pull up all the new expireds. They find all kinds of phone numbers. They look for previous listing information. They give you basically have this full dossier about this prospective seller for you that's now an expired listing. And then you use our system, you call them, and you convert them to an appointment.
saving all that time.
Saving all the time. So yes, use RedX. The link is below. And as Julie said, you get a $150 discount. So do that. That's
It's ridiculously inexpensive, assuming you list even, 2, maybe 1 expired for that. So that's making, again, we believe on this podcast to remove all of your objections so that you can't wander through the real estate wild saying, well, that was a great idea, but this, but that, but I'm not going to do it. So just, do the plan and then send us your results. You can text us, you can email us. I love to hear your stories. I did this and these are the results that I got.
Well, yeah. I mean, hashtag us on, or, @symbol us on Instagram. We'll share your story. We always do.
Or better yet, come to your daily semi-private coaching sessions and share your stories, inspire each other.
You mean enjoying Premier Coaching, Julie? Is that what
That's
you're
what
saying?
I'm alluding to.
Was that your attempt at a commercial?
Yes, that's right. Because I want to see them on there.
Julie relies on me to do all the Premier Coaching pitches, if you guys haven't
Exactly.
figured that out.
I'm just thinking about all the great things where they come and it's so funny. They always start their stories the same way. You're not going to believe what happened.
I did an open house and sold 5 houses.
I know. And then the coaches are like, well, you mean you followed the plan and you got the results that we
know.
said you would? Yes. Now go lather, rinse, repeat.
That's right. You guys have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you on the show tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.